Hello and welcome to my vintage audiophile channel. This is now my 81st video. Sorry I took a month to make a new video, but the day after I made this video I found out that my brother had died. He was 14 months younger than me from a massive heart attack. So things have been a little crazy lately. Hopefully I can get back on track and produce my videos a little bit more timely. Today I am going to speak about a system that probably not too many people have ever heard of. You've certainly heard of the name, but maybe not the system itself. It came out in about 1980 and was produced until 1982. Everything in black is from the same line, except the thing on top, the brown thing, which is a modern turntable, which I just hooked up to let you hear what it sounds like with a record on. What we have here is a system that consists of the BA6000, CC3000, EQ2322, DD300 cassette player, a timer, and an FM 2421 tuner. And if you haven't guessed by now, the maker of this stuff is Fisher. This was before they were bought out by another company and went totally in the crapper as far as quality went, to a point where they eventually folded. For those who don't know, back in the 50s and 60s, and maybe even sooner than that, Fisher was like the #1 electronics company in the world. They made some really good stuff back in the tube era, pre-65, when everybody switched to transistors. Fisher switched to transistors also, but they used a lot of their own transistors, and the quality wasn't as good as some of the other brands out there, so their popularity began to slip. And by the mid-80s, people had pretty much given up on Fisher. They were still making stuff, but for another 10 years, but the quality just wasn't there anymore. And however, this one is kind of towards the last gasp of their original stuff before they were bought out. It they're all separates. Right now they stack on top of each other to make it look like a all-in-one system, but they are definitely separates. Like I said, we have the tuner up here, a timer, which you can set to turn the system on and record, or if it's not being used for that, you still have the time that, and this one's currently set for 24-hour time, and underneath that we have the amplifier, which is actually a really nice amplifier. It's 100 watt per channel with 0.005% total harmonic distortion, and a really large transformer inside, which makes it extremely heavy. That particular amplifier itself is probably as heavy as the rest of the system combined when you compare them. Below that we have the preamp and the equalizer, and last but not least the cassette deck, which is a step above most of their cassette decks they had made at the time. And without further ado, I will turn up the volume here a little bit and put it on the tuner, let you hear what it sounds like. course, the tuner is
I saw it and like, oh,
will pick up stations, but not all stations, of course, come in. But there's a lot of stations that do come in that are close, plus a lot of further off stations. As you can see, it does play a lot of stations. Some of these stations are more than 50 miles away, which makes it pretty nice. Of course, you can't get them in as good as the regular local stations, but they're still there if you want them. Some of the stations are even probably closer to 60 miles away, and they can still get in stereo. And as you can see, it does work pretty decent. I have the equalizer on. Of course, it does have equalizer defeat as well as a tone defeat on the amplifier, or on the preamp itself, with your bass and treble. It has a mode for stereo or reverse stereo, or mono A and B. That's your tape monitor for recording. Phono, it has a two moving magnet inputs for record player, plus a moving coil input. And it also has a setting here for 100 or 47 ohms. And you've got your function, which is auxiliary, phono, or tuner. The tape is handled by this tape monitor. Your balance, your subsonic filter, your bass expander, and of course up here you've got your speakers off, AB or A plus B, input level, and your other ones here for, sorry I can't see them in the dark here, but and when it comes to the cassette is really nice. Currently I don't have a cassette in there, so I can't play you a sample of the cassette, but it does have a lot of controls on it that aren't normally found on just your average one. It's got line out, and then your inputs for how much you want to record, or the types of tape, or your Dolbys, and all that kind of stuff. It is soft touch, and it is a very nice system. I've owned it since new. It is slowly deteriorating a little bit over the years, but it's still very enjoyable. And one of these days I'll probably have to work on it to get it back up to snuff. The tape player belts are slipping on, so I've got to get some new belts for it to replace it. And I will now put it on auxiliary, because I'm using a newfangled record player that has either line in or phono, and I don't have any extra phono jacks right now, so I'm using just line level with its built-in preamp, and I will show you what that sounds like. Just bear with me a moment. I don't have to turn it up very loud to get sound out of this thing. Right now it's only putting out a few watts.
I could love you your way, yet I'm still you came to see me day by day. Now I miss you all the time. Your heart could be as sad as mine. Ain't nobody's fault but mine.
So as you can see, Phono works just fine on it too. The only thing, like I say, is I gotta get the cassette deck belts replaced, which shouldn't be too hard of a thing to do. And then it'll be all back up to snuff again. The volume control is starting to get a little scratchy. I need to use some deoxit on that. But other than that, everything else is still working fine after 40 years. So that, I guess, in itself speaks for the quality of this particular unit. If you're lucky, you can find a complete set like this. Sometimes people sell them as a complete set if they have them, and you're talking around $600 range, which is a little bit of money, but for what you're getting, it isn't that much after all. Considering some of the other receivers alone out there these days can run you in the $2,500 range. So if it's something that you would think you'd like to get, I wouldn't hesitate to buy one, and you'll enjoy it for years to come. Try to get one that isn't a fixer-upper, because who wants to fix them up if you don't have to? And until next time, I hope you have a great day. Please be safe, and I will see you next time in video 82. And have a great day. Bye-bye.